Okay, today we're going to talk about how to measure a room for wainscoting. As you can see, we have an empty room here. This is a bedroom. We've not quite decided what style of wainscoting we want yet, but we know we want to cover all the walls in the room. First thing we need to know is how to hold a tape measure. This is a standard retractable tape measure. This one happens to measure up to 16 feet, which is usually more than enough. When you hold the tape measure, you're going to want to keep one part in one hand and the other in your other hand. And you can actually use it. A good tape measure will extend many feet before it collapses. So once we get comfortable with using a tape measure, and don't be afraid to ask a family member or a friend to help you, but then we need to know how to read a tape measure. And at that point, if we look, we'll see the numbers on the tape measure. The feet are highlighted on this one. It's 2 feet or 3 feet. And then you can see that the inches are highlighted as well. So it says 2'1", 2'2", 2'3", and so on and so forth. Then when it gets to the smaller increments, you can take some time and understand what 1/8 of an inch is, and there would be 8 of them. So it would be 8, 8, 8, 8, quarters, halves, and obviously the full inch. The next step that we're going to want to do is draw a floor plan for the room. This is for a reference so you understand what walls go where and how they interact with each other. This does not have to be fancy, and it does not have to be to scale. We could just stand in the middle of the room, we can hold the piece of paper nice and flat, and we can just draw the walls. This is the wall to the left of me with the window. This is the wall in front of me. This is a little alcove by the bathroom door and the entry door. And this is this long wall that the bed is on. This is the back wall with the closets. So very simple. Okay, so once we have our walls drawn, we're going to want to note where doors are. So we have an entry door. We can just put a mark where the door is. If we want to get really fancy, we can put a little line on there. That's what an architect would do. There's the entrance door into the room. Here's an entrance door into our bathroom. Here's a closet door. Okay. Here's another closet door. It's over here. And another door. And on this outside wall is where our windows are. And we'll just put an extra line on either side, which is the symbol for a window. Okay, now what we want to do is we want to take our drawing and we want to label the walls. And this will be our identification of what is what once the wainscoting is delivered. So we're going to call this first wall, wall A. We're going to call this next section B. We're going to call this next one C, D. The window wall will be E. This wall will be F, G, H, and I. I did not label this wall where this big closet door is because the molding goes all the way to the corner and there will not be any wainscoting going there. Okay, our first wall that we labeled on our floor plan is wall A. That's the one behind me. This happens to be the longest wall in the room. This is going to be a little tough to do by yourself. I can do it because I've been measuring for a long time, but you might want to get a helper for it. So I'm going to take my tape measure. I'm going to hold the body of the tape in my left hand and the tape measure in my right. I'll then put it into the corner on the right side and continue to measure along the wall till I get to the door casing. So I note my measurement is 174 inches and 5/8. Okay, so wall A is 174 and 5/8 of an inch. Now let's go to wall B. Holding from the corner to the door trim, I have 22 inches. Okay, so on wall B, I'm going to mark 22 inches. And it measures at 48 and 5/16. And on my drawing, I mark wall C at 48 and 5/16. Wall D is going to be this little section over here, which measured at 4 inches. This is going to be filler. This is too small to have a panel made out of. So we're still going to mark it down because we still need material to put there, but again, it will just be filler. So on our plan for wall D, we mark 4 inches. The next wall we're going to measure is this window wall. And we're going to have to draw an elevation. And don't let that scare you, because again, it doesn't have to be precise. We just need to show that there's a window on the wall and the measurements around it. So I'm going to draw the elevation on my pad. I'm just going to draw a simple rectangle which shows the overall shape of the wall. And I'm going to draw a window in there. Again, we're not worried about scale. No one's going to grade you on the picture. We just need to show that there's a window in the wall. So now we can start to take measurements. Working from left to right, we'll measure from the corner to the window trim. And we show that we have 47 7/16. Go ahead and record that measurement on your pad. The next measurement we need is from the outside of the window trim to the outside of the window trim on the opposite side. So we can hook our tape measure on the edge of the molding. And we can carry it across slowly. When we get to the other side, we're going to record our measurement, which is 79 5/16. So record your measurement, 79 5/16. Next, we're going to take the measurement from the opposite corner to the side of the window. And we have 45 11/16. Last, we're going to take the measurement from the floor to the bottom of the window stool. We have 14 7/8. While we're at it, let's go and check the other side of the window just to see if the floor is at a level. And it's not, it's 14 7/8 on both sides. Take the time and record your measurement. 14 7/8. And that's all you have to do. The next wall, we're going to hook our tape measure on the corner and carry it across the wall. And we see that we have 118 inches to the corner. Now we'll record our measurement. 118 inches. Moving on around the room, we'll do our section to the left side of this door, which is 7 7/8 of an inch. On this wall, we see that there's a mirror in place. We're actually going to remove the mirror and we're just going to have wainscoting. So we can pretend the mirror isn't there. We can take our measurement right to the corner. And this wall is 21 3/8. Now, looking at our floor plan, we see our wall here has big closet doors on there. So if we look at our wall, we see that there's very little space on either side of the door. We don't need any wainscoting in there. Okay, and our last section of wall is going to be 21 1/4. 21 1/4. When we look at this wall, we see down here that there's a air conditioning return grill here. And this grill is very close to the side of the door. So we're going to need to address this. We're going to talk to our air conditioning contractor and see if we can move this over so the vent falls in the panel. If not, when we order the wainscoting, we'll just simply order with a smaller style on the right-hand side. This can be done by calling the office and asking one of our professionals to work you through this detail. Okay, so if we look at, obviously every room is going to have electrical outlets in it, and it's going to have wall switches in there. These can potentially be a problem because they'll fall in an awkward spot as far as the stiles and rails and the panels are concerned. So what we want to do is take a look at, for instance, our light switch when we first walk in the room. It's very close to the wall. Our style for our wainscoting is going to be land right in the middle of the outlet. So what we're going to want to do is talk to an electrician, and most likely this outlet or the switch can be moved over. When we look at the electrical outlets here, traditionally we like to see the outlets in the baseboard molding. So again, we're going to bring in an electrician and we're going to talk to an electrician about moving these outlets down to the baseboard. So thank you for taking the time today to watch this video on how to measure for wainscoting. It really is very easy. I hope it doesn't make you nervous to do this. If all else fails, just call our office and somebody there will be able to talk you through on how to do it. Be sure to watch for our other videos on how to install moldings around your doors and windows, crown molding, base molding, and also preparation for paint and finish painting.